We're going to be installing headlights and brake lights and turn signals into my 2014 Yamaha golf cart. You're going to need some tape, scissors, box cutter, zip ties, and then the lights. I'm going to link the kit that I bought. I bought it off of eBay. I'm going to link that in the description. Straight from China. And, well, actually, I don't know. It could be from America. It's got pretty decent. It might be an American seller. I'll double check on eBay and put that in the comments as well, where I bought it from. But, the scissors you're going to use to cut out the template. Box cutters, maybe you don't need, but I'm going to use that to cut zip ties. And let's get started. We've got it cut out. Now we're going to have the teardrop point be up and to the outside of the golf cart. I'll get this taped. We'll go to the next side. So I switched to masking tape, and I've got the template up against the seam. Got the teardrop pointed to the outside of the cart. We're going to take our pencil. We are going to mark the outside, the line, and the template itself is smaller than the outside of the lights, so the light is going to cover that up. We'll mark this up with the pencil, and then we'll get our cutting tool out. We marked it out with our pencil. We're going to save our template because we'll flip it over for the passenger side. We'll grab our driver's side headlight, which is this one. It's going to sit like that. I'll pick this up on eBay as well. Use this to cut it out. So I tried using flap disc. I put two of them together. It just pretty much ate them. The only thing I have in this that came with the rotary tool, well, I guess I've got these. This would probably do it. Got it cut out. My light's not fitting in. As you can see, I left some. Okay, I got the headlight in. I didn't need to go all the way to the line. I left 1/8 of an inch on all sides. I mean, it looks like shit, but it's going to be covered. So I fit in just like that. Now that we've got one headlight on, we're going to read the directions, but I'm sure that's what these are for. These stainless steel screws will go in right there. You shouldn't have to thread a pilot hole. They should just go right in. It's just soft plastic. But definitely be careful when you're cutting out your holes for those headlights. Make sure you leave plenty. Go slow. You don't want to take off too much and then have a gap, you know. Make sure the plastic ends well within inside the outline they give you, and just keep trying to take away a little bit at a time. You don't want to take off too much. Got our second template put on the cart. Just follow the instructions and flip it so it's a mirror image. I'm gonna mark it out with this pencil and we'll get to cutting. Something else worth noting is that when I cut this out, I was well within the line. It'll have a template like this one. The template says cut out, you know. I left plenty on the lines because you don't want to cut too much out of your cart. So even just that 32nd of an inch or 16th of an inch, whatever I did inside the cutout line, just gives you more room. Be really careful when you're cutting. These things cut slow, but I mean, that's what you want. So got that cut out. See how the headlight fits. I really don't know what to expect. The first one, I was way too big. No, it's gonna look good, but that's not gonna fit. I'll cut some more out. That took a little bit, but we got it. Put these stainless steel screws in and we'll move on to the back. Well, we flipped and flopped it. Jade's helping. Got it turned around. We're gonna do our rear template, which I don't understand quite yet, but there's gotta be some way to do this. Driver side. Driver taillight template, right passenger side. What? And then this wraps around the, oh, okay. All right. I got it. Got the templates drawn on the back. From what I can see, it looks like it's gonna sit like this, and then that'll wrap around. It doesn't look good on the plastic, but it's gonna be different when it's actually put on, because this will wrap around. This will sit flush, and this will ride the fender well, so it'll look good. We'll cut this out. Right into the first problem. The fitment's not great. The headlights were fine. These brake lights, top's good, no gaps. You get to the bottom here and you're putting in your screws. They should have, like, I'm well within the line. You can still see pencil marks where I cut, but this plastic is flared too far out, and I'm probably just gonna leave it. You can't see it from the back. Well, I mean, you can see a little bit that it's sticking out. It doesn't sit flush, but it's an aftermarket light kit. So this is the first problem I've run into. It doesn't sit flush. Continue on. We'll cut this next one out and install it. And then they've got it labeled really well. This is probably an American company, actually, the more I think about it. My cart's in good shape. It's not bent. So that's the only thing I've had so far. This is just to show you how well this tool cuts. I got it off of eBay as well. You can curve, cut straight, and when I get to the end and I'm going to just really get as close to the line as I can as I hold it flat, I just push with it. So hopefully you guys can see that. Got both the brake lights on. Now the directions say to lay the wiring harness beside the cart, get an idea for where everything goes. Their headlight switch, pull, push. Everything's labeled. We'll back this up here. Lay our wiring harness out and see what's up. So I've got it laid out. It does have a fuse in the kit that'll go to our battery. These are our brake lights. Longer one will go to the far side. Shorter one will go to the driver's side. I'm not so sure about this. It just says connect. Oh, connect brake pad. Okay. Cool. Pick a spot on my dash where the headlights will go, I suppose. I'll put it, it'd make more sense to have it up at the key, I suppose. If it's long enough, I'll put it there. And then my cart doesn't have a horn. They've also got a horn attachment, which is cool. And then you've got the driver's side headlight, passenger side headlight. They've also got that labeled. So I'm gonna take these plastic rivets out, get this pad up, and see what's underneath. You probably already noticed I didn't mention having a cutting tool. I got that cutting tool off of eBay. It was like 17 bucks, and a crow's foot, because first I started taking these rivets out with just a screwdriver, and you're probably gonna end up breaking it, but just to show you, here's a screwdriver just to get it started. And then you come in with the crow's foot. You can get those at O'Reilly's for like 8 bucks. And then it lifts it both sides equally, so you're not breaking any of that plastic if your cart's old. Got all these plastic rivets out. Gonna go ahead and get that mat up. Didn't break any, thankfully. Go around. And we got more to take off. So thankfully mine just lifts up. There's the ignition harness, check engine light. Let's find out which one goes to the brake. Do I get a floor jack? Would that make the most sense? Okay, so this little guy must be the starter solenoid, because that's going off the gas pedal. Let's see what's going on. Brake pads. Is that my exhaust? Okay. Hang on a second, I gotta figure out what's going on. So after doing some Googling, I need to actually get a brake pad that you just attach to your brake pedal, and then when your foot goes on that little pressure pad, it goes into the lights. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just using this for golf, so maybe in the future I'll get, and I'm also missing a turn signal kit. I mean, these headlights are capable of it, but I don't have a turn kit harness, and I don't really want to have anything hanging off my steering column. So forget the brake lights. We'll just set them up and have them ready for the future. But I'd have a pressure pad on my pedal, and then the harness would plug in probably towards the battery, away from that exhaust. And yeah, we're not going to worry about that. We'll do that later. Going to take off my cup holder here. All I have, it looks like, is just this one Allen. So we'll just spin this around. That'll give us access to see what we're doing when we put that harness in. A little persuasion, it did come out. There's our ignition, check engine light. The kit does come with tons of zip ties, so we'll figure out which is which. Don't have a horn yet, probably won't get one. So I'm gonna tape that out, and then that'll go to our right headlight. This will go to our left. Our headlight switch, and then, like I said, maybe if you're putting lights on your cart and you are in town, you want to have all that, you can order yourself a brake pad with a 2-pin connector. I'm just gonna zip tie them, plug them in anyway. Maybe they'll turn on with the headlights are on, and then it'll be even brighter when they're pressed. I don't know, but let's get this harness in. I'm weaseling it in this ignition hole, or the hole for the ignition wire. I'm gonna run my harness up from that hole into the headlights. It's definitely hard getting that plastic white connecting block through that gap, but it does fit. You just have to do it like you're moving a couch through a doorway and kind of hook it around. I'm not going to zip tie anything yet. I'm going to make sure it reaches. I am going to plug in the headlights though. And then this is my headlight switch, which will go right there. Got the headlights hooked up. Now would be the time, if you're putting a turn signal on, to pay attention. The neutral the white and the black. I know it's a DC, but the neutral would go to your red for your turn signal. And what I did on the other side was I just, so nothing's hanging down and visible, you can see where it comes off the headlight. I just tucked it behind this piece of plastic, and I'm gonna just shove it up there. There's enough friction it will hold by itself. And I will zip tie it in the future, but I'm having the lights above the suspension, and when I do zip tie it, when I'm ready and I'm at that point, I'll probably have a zip tie on top of the suspension so nothing is near moving parts. Both headlights are hooked up. You can see that's above the suspension as well. I'm gonna hold off on the headlight switch. I'm gonna pull the extra out. There's not very much, but the harness reaches the headlights fine. There's just not much slack for the headlight switch. I guess we do have a little bit of give off of this, so let's just imagine that's sitting there. We'll figure out a way to run this. Probably go with the engine. Well, no, that ain't gonna work. We'll go beside the engine harness and try to find a way. Maybe we'll sneak it through this. Let's lift the seat and see what's going on. For my cart, it's looking like that's really the only option. And then after I'm back there, I'll run it through here, through the parking brake, or the brake cable. And after I get through, I'll probably go immediately towards the battery, and I'll go around this post so that holds it away from the exhaust. And then I'll get the brake lights run, probably behind this post, hopefully, if there's enough room. What I ended up doing, just to save some length, is where it came down from the headlight switch and it goes underneath this mat, I just zip tied it to my throttle cable, and then I went with the brake cable. I don't think there'd be any wear. There's not really anything moving when this cart goes up and down for it to wear through. And then my mat will go over it. That'll all be nice and covered underneath this seat here. We've got our battery connection. That's where it comes out. So I'm gonna put a zip tie here so it's nice and underneath this positive cable, and I'm gonna go around this post because I've got loads of length, so it's gonna reach just fine. So I ran the brake light wire behind frame, behind the suspension, if you can see that, and now I'm connecting them. Crawl underneath this. My cart's got a mud flap. If you look inside there, you can see two harnesses. It's blurry, but that's the factory harness, or that's the brake light harness, and then that's the wiring harness on the right side. And then for the passenger side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just run it across, go above the frame, zip tie it to the frame when I'm all done, and yeah, let's keep trucking. Still haven't zip tied anything yet, but I'm going to hook up this battery, pull the fuse out. The way these battery clamps are, they have the square to stop the head from spinning. So I just put the washer on the nut side, just crunched them. They're pretty small terminals or whatever, so they just bent with it, and they're both snug. I'm gonna put my positive cable fuse in. I'm gonna put my headlight switch on to the harness. We're gonna try them out. And they work. They don't look incredibly bright, but tonight we'll take it out. And I was right, the brake lights are on, so that's cool. Be able to see me from the rear on the course. I'm gonna get everything zip tied together and we'll pull it in the garage here and show the lights. When I drilled a hole for my headlight switch, there was actually a little tab. I don't know if that's where a horn's supposed to go, but you could look on the back side of your cup holder where the key and the ignition wires are, and there's a little tab. At least there was in my cart. I've got the front zip tied, headlight switch mounted. I'm gonna zip tie this back like I said, and then we'll go in the garage after everything's buttoned up and we'll see what they look like. Here's what the lights look like at night. Pretty dang bright. Going down a hill here. So, and I was looking at them, they do adjust. They got little tilt in them. So, they tilt. Pretty cool, guys. Brake lights are nice and bright. Headlights are very, very bright. They're also narrow. I don't know if there's a side adjustment. No. But, I mean, hey. You're going 20 miles an hour at night on a fairway. You don't really care about what's to the side. So, yeah. Headlights work great, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I've always got some kind of project I'm working on, and I'm usually making videos about it. Hope you have a good summer and you play lots of golf. Thanks.